Mayor, would you like to proceed?
Yes, please.
Good evening. This is the meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council regular meeting on Wednesday, January 15, 2025. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times and by posting at the Borough of Highlands Municipal Building and filing with Borough Clerk all on January 1st, 2025. Items listed on the agenda are subject to change. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now do roll call. Councilmember Cervantes.
Here.
Councilman Chalak.
Here.
Councilman Melnick. Council President Olszewski. Here. Mayor Brulan.
Here.
First, we have approval of minutes, January 1st, 2025 meeting minutes.
I will offer.
I'll second. Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Chalak.
Yes.
Council President Olszewski.
Yes.
Mayor Brulan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries to approve January 1st, 2025 meeting minutes. Next, we have introduction of proposed ordinances O2501, amending Chapter 4, Licensing General, Section 4-18, Cannabis Retailer License, subsection 4-18.7, Hours of Operation.
This came about because the operator is looking to open up before the end of March. And what she did is she looked around at all of the other cannabis establishments in Monmouth County and got a good average of what all of their hours were. When the application was first in front of the Land Use Board back in early 2020, before COVID, the church was meeting every Sunday and then Sunday school after that, and so the operator wanted to be cognizant of that and respectful of the church. However, the church has since been sold and no longer operates as a church. So I felt that it was fine to bring this to the council to change these hours so that the hours are consistent with every other retailer that is in Monmouth County. So that's why I'm suggesting that we do this change. Of course. Yes.
So the building's all set and ready to go?
It is not final yet. It does not have a CO yet, but they are working on it, and they have been they've been working every single day. I pass by, I see them all in there like busy bees.
Okay,
So
good.
that's why they're looking at an
March.
opening of March,
Sounds good. Okay.
and I will offer it.
I'll second. Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Chalak.
Yes.
Council President Olszewski. Yes. Mayor Brulan.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass O2501 on first reading, with the public hearing to be held on February 5th, 2025. Next, we have consent agenda. Mayor, would you like me to read the resolutions by title?
Yes, but first I want to speak to a couple of things on the consent agenda. And that is there's some folks have asked why we have these two conflict redevelopment councils, and just as a brief note that we have over 150 properties that are in the Bay Avenue redevelopment area, and each one of those properties is being looked at independently. So we just wanted to have attorneys that were already approved, that in case there are conflicts, because there are conflicts of interest all the time with who somebody might share the same attorney, or a developer might have that same attorney. So that is why we're doing that. The designation of Arjika Builders be the conditional redeveloper for 289 Bay Avenue. This is just the very, very first step in a number of steps of the process of naming the redeveloper, having an interim agreement, and supplying an escrow to pay for professional services. After we name the builders tonight, the second step in the process is to start negotiating an agreement with them. And then the last step in the process is to complete the redevelopment agreement. And other than that, I don't think I need to explain any of these other ones. They're pretty straightforward. If you were wondering about the a resolution for complying with affordable housing, we got our number earlier this year, and we need to provide 30 units, which should not be a problem. And with that, yes, could you please read each of the into the record?
R 25045, resolution of the Borough of Highlands, County of Monmouth, committing to comply with affordable housing obligations for round 4. R 25046, authorizing contract for animal control services. R 25047, authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for professional services conflict attorney. R 25048, authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for professional services conflict redevelopment counsel. R 25049, authorizing execution of an agreement for snow removal and street lighting reimbursement between the Borough of Highlands and East Point Condominium Association. R 25050, authorizing payment of bills. R 25051, designating Archica Builders as the conditional redeveloper for the property known as Tax Block 81, Lot 12, located within the Central Business District redevelopment area, and authorizing the execution of an interim costs agreement with respect thereto.
And I will offer the consent agenda.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, I would like to note that Councilmember Melnick arrived at 7:04 PM. And Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Gilat.
Yes.
Councilman Melnick.
Yes.
Council President Chesky.
Yes.
Mayor Bulan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries to adopt resolutions R 25045 through R 25051. Next, we have other business, America's 250th anniversary.
Yes,
Hang on. Now go.
okay, hi. I'll speak to that. I had the privilege of attending a county meeting last night with representatives from the other towns in Monmouth County, and of course, the topic was to get ready for America's 250th anniversary, and Monmouth County is on this game and is pulling together all sorts of activities and encouraging us to do the same. There will be a public arts program. They're working closely with the New Jersey State Council on the Arts and partnering with New Jersey-based artists, historic sites, organizations, and municipalities to create temporary art installations throughout the state and engage community members to get involved. There will be fine arts competitions with a deadline for submission of April 3rd, 2026, and exhibitions from May through December of that year for both amateurs and professionals, and the prize, of course, will be $2,026. They want to really drive home that history happened here, that New Jersey was the crossroads of the American Revolution. Washington spent more days in New Jersey than anywhere else. So the county is developing a variety of programs and resources for educators to use in the classroom or for professional development, including guidelines and expectations for participation, student learning standards, and an array of videos from public history sites to set expectations as to what kind of resources are available. And there is an educator's resource page, and they are meeting with the superintendents of schools throughout Monmouth County, so this will get out to the kids. There's coloring books that they made up for the little ones. There's traveling exhibits that we can borrow with Clan Fest or other things that we have that year that are really cool. Highlands will be moving along as well. We hope, number one, in my heart, of course, is to rededicate Huddy Park. And we have things going that might be really wonderful for Huddy Park. The Daughters of the American Revolution have been involved with us, and they're helping us to find funding for these great 2-foot by 3-foot signs. If you've been up to the lighthouses or you've been to Mount Mitchell, they're sort of pitched at you, and you can have pictures and whatever on them, and they're sealed, and they last through all sorts of weather. So we can highlight Huddy Park and the hanging of poor Mr. Huddy. We can highlight, and so many people in Highlands don't know that there was a Battle of Navesink that took place on Route 36 in and around. We can highlight that. The British retreated from the Battle of Monmouth right down the Waterwitch and camped out on our beaches for at least a week or more while they waited for these sort of pontoon bridges to be assembled so that they could get back across to Sandy Hook. And that's just the least. And the other thing that I love that they were pointing out is it's a great time to highlight the history of the town itself. So we've been talking about the clam plant. I mean, that would be another thing to highlight. I mean, think about the rum runners and other things. I don't know if we go down that road, but
If you want to unveil,
yeah, oh, yes. Yes, thank you.
I don't want to steal any thunder here.
There's a good storm going. We were given this last night. Highlands was in the first crew of towns to sign up to participate. And we got this to hang of wherever you feel is appropriate. And they're going to be doing a lot. We can use that logo in and of everything that we do. They're going to have shirts and other things that we can get a hold of. They encouraged us to strongly involve our Highland Business Partnership because it's a great time to link coming to Highlands with, yes, come and eat and do the other wonderful things you can do in Highlands, but also come, take a walking tour, explore our history. And, okay, for a little bit more, we'll work with the Business Partnership, blah, 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 and more to come. Thank you.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, I got excited.
I could tell. Okay. Next is the year in review. Well, actually, do you want to go first and then I can do the year in review?
Oh, yeah, sure. Just a couple things. This is up on the website too. The building department, Mr. Steve Winters has hired last year, has revamped the entire building department. There was so much work to do. Since Sandy, the building department was run through Middletown. We were paying them lots of money. We didn't get what we were paying for, that's for sure. Things were backed up. Mr. Winters has done a magnificent job, and I urge all residents to read that report. A lot of information in it. And then secondly, the HBP is, next month is going to be here before we know it. So February 2nd is the 15th annual Beef and Brew pre-Super Bowl party at the Proving Ground from 3 to 7. And that's always fun because it's like a turkey tray. You buy tickets and there's all kinds of baskets and you put them in, and there's bagpipe bands, and it's a really fun, wonderful time. And of course, it's to raise money for the St. Patty's Day Parade, which will be here before we know it, which is going to be on March 22nd. And then also in February, the 13th annual chili cook-off will take place. It's a Sunday, but it's to be determined where it will be.
They just got Saltwater Social, so that they are going to do
okay.
it.
So Saltwater Social for the chili cook-off.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So get your recipes all finely tuned, and we'll see you there. And that's it. Thank you. You good about chili?
I always wait.
You always wait.
Don, do you have anything you'd like to add? No? You're all good? All right, so then a brief one-page review of 2024, the year in review. In 2024, Mayor, Council, and staff worked to address past issues as well as plan for Highlands' future. We were, again, very successful in locating, pursuing, and winning grants, as well as other financial sources to help fund our infrastructure projects and upgrade our open spaces. So the state of the borough at the end of 2024, residents, staff, business, charitable organizations, and the clergy were all worked together to help our neighbors who needed assistance. Food, clothing, and toy drives showed how amazingly resilient our community remains, and our emergency services drove many donations to North Carolina after Hurricane Helene. The municipal tax rate was either lowered or remained steady for the 5th consecutive year. We are expecting the rate to lower again this year, so that will be 6 years in a row. The 2025 preliminary valuation of all properties in the borough increased to over $1.3 billion, which was an increase of over $254 million over 2024. That was the largest year-over-year value increase the borough has ever seen. New businesses open, as we mentioned, Saltwater Social, that had been vacant since Sandy, the Water Witch Grocer, One Stop, and the Highlands Cafe. Just got it in right before the end of the year. Just to highlight one really great project that was done independently of the borough, 40-year vacant property at 9599 Bay Avenue. That was that empty lot that had been empty for over 40 years. It really blows your mind. And now it's developed into 8 townhome units. Go ahead.
Said exactly.
That is exactly, it's right across from, right next to the American Legion.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it.
So of those of us who are here during Sandy, that's the one that caught on fire all the time because they were bringing all of the stuff that people were taking out of their homes, and it would, that and the lot over by what is now et al.
Okay.
They would always have these fires, so it was really terrible. But anyway, it's just so exciting to see such a well-built building take a shining star on, on Bay Avenue and turn something that was a vacant property that was only contributing maybe, I don't know, $3,000 in taxes, and now it's well over 6 figures. So that should also help bring our rate down as well. Grants. Total grants awarded in '24 was a little bit over $1,900,000, and our bond rating remains steady at AA. Some of the projects and goals that were accomplished during 2024 was the completion of the Phase 1 of the sanitary sewer project and paving Bay Avenue for the first time in 27 years. Also completed was the curb and sidewalk replacement from Linden Avenue for the first time in over 50 years. We made some pretty sharp updates to Veterans Park at the behest of the Garden Club. And we also made updates to Marie Ave and Bayside Drive. We completed the Veterans Park shoreline design, and permitting has been approved from DEP. So the next step for that project for the living shorelines is to go after the implementations to actually do the work beyond design. And speaking of planning, we were also awarded the Asset Activation Planning Grant, and that's what Joanne was talking about the James T. White clam plant, which a lot of people in town don't even know we have a clam plant, which is very sad. But anyway, it's been there since the 70s, and it needs some upgrades. It needs a new bulkhead. It needs a lot of work. And we're going to have, at the end of next meeting on the February 5th, we're going to have an open public discussion on all of the things that could be there. And we're looking at not only bringing in some historical piece of possibly a section for a maritime museum on a separate floor, but also the idea of getting the scientists from not just our, like Henry Hudson and our local colleges of Rutgers and Brookdale and Monmouth U, but also the scientists over at Sandy Hook are all very, very excited to explore an educational component, because a lot of people don't like to go out to Sandy Hook. So even though they have programs there, people might want to do a program here and learn about the fisheries, learn about the clamming process and other mollusks that are collected in these areas. So it's all very exciting. We're doing a lot of brainstorming right now. And so that's going to be a lot of fun to delve into in next year. Some other things that we are looking to get done in 2025 is upgrades to Frank Hall Park, the creation of Overlook Park, which is that empty lot on Route 36, Shore Drive pedestrian improvements, which are sidewalks from Waterwitch to Willow, much needed as people are walking in the street to get to the ferry when they could be safely on the sidewalk. Washington Avenue paving, we are getting close to that, so all of these projects are most likely going to be put out to bid now in the wintertime. That way we can get them completed in the spring before we get the rush of summer. Also on the agenda is to complete the other side of the raised platform on Marine Place, and Portland Road drainage, which is stormwater improvements, and then finally 2025 might be the year that we get Jones Creek dredged. But that's in the hands of the county, so we're really at their mercy on that one. The last I have is if you go onto the website, you can look at a video done by our CRS coordinator, a great town hall workshop, and also the updated floodplain design guidelines are there. Just click on the links, it'll take you right to them. And that's the year in review. So a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of stuff going on, even more so than this. But this is all I had at the end of last year. But it was a good year, and I say, if I haven't seen you, Happy New Year to you, and onwards and upwards in 2025. Spencer, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Just with the dredging, it's something that we're looking to do. Hopefully, we'll be able to do with Joe's help. Under the county, unfortunately, came back with their bid a little high, so we're looking at alternative ways to get that done. You know, we want to be fiscally sound, get it done. We're real happy right now with the way it's going, and it's flowing. We have the valve open, and I think it's the cleanest it's ever been. And we're not getting any complaints on smells. Just trying to figure out the challenge of how we can get it down, because we have it strapped up, and ultimately what we're looking for is a more long-term process with a different type of valve. And from a public works perspective, real proud of my guys. We handled we had a couple snowstorms so far. One last Monday. Brought a couple guys in on Saturday for a little snow. Anticipating possibly something Sunday night and Monday. Working on Christmas decorations, so we're working on that. Talking about possibly upgrading the Christmas decorations on the poles. They're a little warm, they be fresh, and that's it.
Okay. If no one has anything else, we can go to public portion.
Individuals wishing to address the council shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their name, address, and the group, if any, they represent. Although the council encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. If any individual refuses to conduct themselves in a proper manner, they will be removed from the meeting. The council will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointments, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion, or discipline of any specific or prospective or current employee. There's a 3-minute time limit for your comments.
It's for the recording.
Actually, Ms. Harvey, they say that Washington Avenue is going to be, but there's, right by your driveway, Karen, there's a huge pothole.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's terrible.
If bring that up or not, but it probably needs to be filled before.
It's about a foot deep, I
Yeah, it's
think.
gotten really bad just in the past couple of days. It's
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
So I don't know if this is the right place to come to that, or where do you go?
Sure.
Okay.
Em?
The second question was, I think it was probably back in June, we talked about re-erecting the no parking signs on Washington. So I wasn't sure if there was any progress on that.
The couple, we absolutely can get it. I don't know if I can get it this week. I think that's Wednesday night, but we'll definitely get it in the next week and a half. I'll put some packs in it, and we're looking to the no parking issue. A lot of signs aren't out there, as long as we have ordinances in place and everything.
Yeah,
Hmm?
that over the summer, they were taken down.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still laying in that.
No.
No, they're gone, because I looked for them the other day.
Third question, and I don't know if this is the right place also. Is there an SOP or something about signage? You know, we're talking about all of these new businesses coming into town, and we're trying to keep, signs kind of in accordance with the flavor of the town and the nature of the town, so that we don't go wrong.
There are design guidelines. They're on the website.
Okay, as long as you have something to control it. Thank you, I love the Christmas lights.
She's my next door neighbor. She's my next door neighbor. No, what's her name? Lisa, I don't know the last name.
Joseph Braun, 102 Valley Avenue. Just wondering if there was anything to report about the right-of-way that surrounds my house, or whether or not there's anything to report about the repair of that. Is anyone?
Joe?
So I submitted my note based on our findings and what was said to Superman. I submitted it to the borough attorney, and we're internally reviewing it right now. We're not ready to report just yet.
Okay. Working on it. Very good, thank you.
Seeing no one else, I'm going to close public portion.
Executive session. Executive session will be held following the regular council meeting. Prior to each executive session, the Borough Council will convene an open session, at which time a resolution will be adopted in accordance with NJSA 10:4-13. No formal action will be taken during executive session. Resolution to enter executive session. Be it resolved that the following portion of this meeting shall not be open to the public. Be further resolved that private consideration is deemed required and is permitted because of the following noted exceptions set forth in the Act: litigation, attorney-client privilege, areas in need of redevelopment updates. Be it further resolved that it is anticipated that the matters to be considered in private may be disclosed to the public at a later date when the need for privacy no longer exists.
I will make that offer.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilman Gilat?
Yes.
Councilman Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Berlant?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried to enter executive session at 7:28. Please make your way out.
Thank you all for coming tonight.